Our Hart continued to be cross-examined. This is part 3 of my day 28 recap of the 2018 Team Canada essay trial. Make sure you follow so you don't miss anything as the trial begins to wrap up over the next couple weeks, and everything discussed in this video is still alleged at this time. Crown then pushed on yesterday, him testifying that he made eye contact with someone. The Crown said, quote, "I'm going to suggest that you are not naming who you made eye contact with because no one else testified that he made eye contact with you," and Hart responded with no. Crown then started asking Hart about his testimony yesterday where he said that if he had seen anyone disrespecting EM, that he would have just left. He then conceded that drunk people don't behave the same way that they would do when they are sober, and he was really drunk that night. He has also said that he doesn't remember seeing golf clubs in the room. Crown then asked questions about Dylan Dubé allegedly playing around with a golf club near the naked woman, and she also asked about Dylan Dubé allegedly slapping and if that would be considered disrespectful. At the end of it all, Hart then said yes, if she was not okay with it, he would consider it disrespectful. Crown then showed Hart the marked up picture of the hotel room that his attorney had him do yesterday, and then he made the quote about Robert Thomas, quote, "I don't believe he stayed for super long, but I do remember him in there at some point." Hart then said that his next memory after getting oral from EM is her being propped up against the bed and her getting annoyed that no one was having sex with her and her threatening to leave. He said it sticks out to him because of how, quote, forward EM was being. Quote, "I'd never experienced a girl act like that, forward and sexually demanding." But then the lawyer suggested that at that point in the night, if what Hart was said was true, it shouldn't have been that shocking given what Hart said about what apparently had already happened in the room. Hart said that he didn't remember EM putting on her clothes and taking them off or trying to leave, but it is possible that that had happened. Crown then asked, quote, "You're sure how she seemed, but not how any of the guys seemed?" And he responded with yes. The Crown then said that he texted Dante Fabro to come to the room, quote, "to keep the party going," and Hart said that that's possible. The Crown then asked Hart about his testimony about EM and Fermenton. The Crown says that Fermenton didn't talk about holding hands in his police statement, but Hart says it, quote, "sticks out to me. They were holding hands going to the bathroom." He also said that he didn't hear any sounds coming from the bathroom except for when the shower was turned on at the end. The Crown then said, quote, "And you've told us no one discussed anything until the June 26th chat, so you must never have learned if any sexual acts happened until the charges were laid." And then Hart said that he didn't remember, and he may have learned about the sex, quote, "during the night," but he didn't remember. The lawyer then asked Hart about Foote allegedly doing the splits in the hotel room. She said, quote, "Guys are trying to come up with some things that they can do with the naked woman in the room that doesn't involve having sex with her," and Hart said, quote, "I'm not sure." The Crown then asked, quote, "Do you know what teabagging is?" She then said, quote, "It's when a guy sort of squats or lowers himself over someone's face and dangles testicles in the face or mouth. That's what's being suggested, right?" And Hart disagreed with that. She then also suggested that getting Hart to do the splits wasn't the point because the guys see that all the time, but what they don't see all the time is him doing the splits over a naked woman, and Hart disagreed with that idea. She then said, quote, "From your perspective, there's nothing particularly exciting about seeing a fully clothed guy who everyone knows can do the splits, right?"